Tigers' first series is in the books. Of course, they opened their season on Thursday on the road against the San Diego Padres, and that was that great 8-2 win. Jumped on them from the beginning. Quick 4-0 lead in the first inning. Continued to build on that through 5 innings, leading 8-0. And the game was headlined by Kevin McGonigle, who had the 4-for-5 performance. 2 runs batted in, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Phenomenal debut for Kevin McGonigle in that 8-2 win for the Tigers. And then, of course, a phenomenal pitching performance for Tarek Skubal. Only allowed 1 unearned run on 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks in 6 innings. So great start to the season for the Tigers through 1 game. Able to roll that into Friday with a 5-2 win. A little bit of a rally already, the first rally win of the season. Not that big of a rally, though. It was just a 1-0 lead for San Diego before the Tigers tied it up in the 6th inning with a 1-run Torque single. Immediately a 2-1 game right back in the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th inning for the Padres. So 2-1 trailing, getting into the deeper bullpen. The Tigers come through with a big-time 8th inning. They're able to plate 4 runs. You had Kerry Carpenter walked, Gleyber Torres walked, Colt Kieth walked, so a little bit of a jam here for Jeremiah Estrada, relief pitcher for the Padres. And then Riley Green, a 1-run single, just station-to-station baseball, puts the tying run on the board. Torkelson strikes out, Wandy Peralta comes in, and then a phenomenal at-bat for Kevin McGonigle, able to foul off 6 pitches, and then able to send one to shallow center field. Bloop single that scores 2 more runs. Tigers take the lead, and then Dillon Dingler for good measure with a 1-run single right after to give them that 4-run inning, and of course 5-1, the 5-2 score, I beg your pardon. And then the Tigers able to shut things down from there with Kyle Finnegan and Kenley Jansen. That was our first look at Kenley Jansen this season, and Kyle Finnegan for that matter, both pitchers pitching phenomenally in that, especially Kenley Jansen, looking like Kenley Jansen always has. 3 strikeouts to close things down in the bottom of the 9th inning for his first save of the season in a Tigers uniform. And the Tigers get the 5-2 win, officially winning the series. Chance at the sweep on Saturday, not able to get it done, though. They get shut out 3-0 at the hands of the Padres. They just struggled against Randy Vasquez, who pitched a brilliant 6 innings for the Padres, allowed 2 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts to just 3 walks. And the Padres bullpen from there getting the job done with Kyle Hart, solid 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and then Mason Miller, the prized closing pitcher that they acquired at the trade deadline last season, able to get his first save of the season for the Padres. 2 strikeouts and a walk in that 9th inning. And the Tigers, of course, just struggled to get on base. You only have 2 hits for the entire game. It's pretty rough. Did have 4 walks, but when those opportunities aren't there to really drive in runs, it's going to be tough to, score runs. And first loss of the season goes to Jack Flaherty, which, of course, you always hear me knock from time to time. You never know what you're going to get when Jack Flaherty gets on the mound. This one, not on him. I thought he did very good. Unfortunately, towards the end of his start, did struggle with the command, issuing several walks, 3 straight walks, as a matter of fact, to load the bases before he was relieved. But other than those 3 walks, not too bad numbers. 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, And, of course, the 4 walks that I mentioned, 3 of those coming in that final inning. And he does pick up the loss. And, again, it doesn't matter how he pitched. If the Tigers aren't going to score runs, it's literally impossible to win. So, but otherwise, still a solid series for the Tigers to get things going in the 2026 season. They had yesterday off with, obviously, the weird start when you're starting on Thursday as opposed to Friday. Unless it's a 4-game series, you're not going to be able to play Sunday. They're only Sunday off this season besides All-Star Weekend. Sunday, obviously, big day for baseball every week. So that brings us to the Tigers and Diamondbacks series, which starts this evening, a 3-game set. And it also sees the official return of Justin Verlander in a Tigers uniform. He gets his first official start tonight. He is going to be opposed by Michael Soroka, getting his first Diamondback start this evening. Spent the first 4 seasons of his career with the Braves. Did deal with some injuries there. Did not play at all in 2021 or 2022. Pitched for the White Sox in 24 and then for the Cubs and Nationals last season. So brand new Diamondback Michael Soroka opposing Justin Verlander tonight. Very late game, 10:10 p.m. first pitch. So it's a late one, especially those West Coast games. You just had that series in San Diego. Very late start on Friday. And then, obviously, this one right here for Arizona, which is basically in their own time zone. But I believe right now they're synced up more with the West Coast, the Pacific time zone. So we got a 10:10 start tonight, 9:40 tomorrow, and then the rubber match 3:40 on Wednesday. A little bit more reasonable to watch before the Tigers have Thursday off and then start their first home series of the season on Friday against the St. Louis Cardinals with the Tigers home opener at 1:10 on Friday. And they do have it lined up that Justin Verlander's first home start back in the Tigers uniform is going to be on Sunday Night Baseball against the Cardinals. So that's really cool. But we will get our first regular season look at Justin Verlander in this one. I really hope he gets off to a good start because he didn't really look that good in spring training, if I'm being quite honest. Got shelled, struggled with the home runs a little bit. Still pretty good on the strikeouts, but want a little bit too much loud contact for my liking there in spring training. But it is a fresh start at the end of the day. And the Diamondbacks getting swept in their first series of the season. 3 games to the Dodgers, 8-2, 5-4, and then 3-2. So Arizona Diamondbacks searching for their first win, period, of the season. Meanwhile, looking at those first 3 games for the Tigers, we, of course, had a spectacular start for Kevin McGonigle, who in 12 at-bats came through with 5 hits, those 2 doubles in that first game, 4 runs batted in. Looking pretty solid, still pretty early. 3 games in, that's a tiny, tiny little sample size for baseball. Other guys with a nice start to the season at the plate. Dillon Dingler, of course, who has the lone Tigers home run hit this season. He otherwise has 3 hits in 9 at-bats. Also was hit by a pitch, which helps his early numbers as well. And then Colt Kieth had a great opening series. Ended up with 4 hits in 9 at-bats with a double, 2 runs scored, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, which Colt Kieth, I mentioned, he's a guy that not really sold at, playing in the infield. But, hey, 1 series sample size, he was able to perform very well for the Detroit Tigers. Maybe this could be a season that he turns the corner a little bit. Hard to say right now, still very early. Meanwhile, who was cold? Who had a cold series to open the season? Kerry Carpenter. He was hitless in 11 at-bats. He did draw 2 walks, but 6 strikeouts, so beyond brutal. Brutal series for Kerry Carpenter. I do have faith that he'll be able to turn it around, but Kind of similar to Justin Verlander, I mentioned didn't have the best spring training. Kerry Carpenter was a guy who really did not look good, did not look really that great in spring training, and unfortunately, at least into this first series, that poor spring training did roll into the regular season, so hopefully he's able to get it turned around soon. Otherwise, Riley Green, he also did not have a good opening series, just one hit in 12 at-bats, although pretty tame in comparison with the strikeouts, just 3 strikeouts to 2 walks. That's a little bit of a far better ratio that you'd like to see from Riley Green as compared to what he had last season with strikeouts. Still had a great season for Riley Green, but if Riley Green wants to take another turn towards greatness, towards being a true star in this league, have to find a way to cut down those strikeouts, and we'll see if that first series is any indication in that progress. Again, Justin Verlander on the mound tonight, 10-10 first pitch between the Tigers and the Diamondbacks.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at foxsports1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.